Welcome to the bookkeeping spreadsheet for tracking multiple different income streams and the expenses and mileage that are correlated with them. So here we are in the main page of the spreadsheet where you will be inputting all of your data. So there's three areas. There's the top panel, the collapsible panel, and the working area below. So if you come over to the left, you'll see this little minus sign that changes to a plus sign. And you can see that I can expand and collapse this. And on the left of this panel, you can see a chart that automatically updates with your gross income from all different income streams by month, your expenses by month, and your net income or profit per month. And that's also tallied up and summarized here in these bar graphs: expected income, annual, and net. And it is also found up top. So when you collapse this panel, you can see your year-to-date totals. And for the purposes of this spreadsheet, your profit is the same thing as your net income. Your profit is your gross income minus your expenses. So all the money that's coming into you in different forms minus the expenses that are related to that income. And of course, we also have this expected income column, and that's if you choose to use this expected pay area right here, then it'll sum that up, and that way you can see the difference between what you think you're going to make and what you actually make, and of course, what you actually make minus your expenses. So that's the left side of the collapsible panel. And then over on the right side of the collapsible panel, this is the area that you can customize to make the spreadsheet work for you in your circumstance. So up top, we have these boxes that you can customize, and these relate to the drop downs in the area below. So anything here that has an arrow, that is populated from this customizable area up top here. So that's that. And with that collapse, we have the working area, and in the working area, this is where you will input all of your data. You have your income, your mileage, and your expenses. So that's the overview. Hopefully that's okay. So here I am on a blank, a little bit more blank spreadsheet here. So I'm going to delete these. And I want to customize this for my needs. So again, I'm in the gray area, the customization panel, and I'm going to pick things that apply to me. So I'll keep cleaning for now, and I'll put in marketing, and I will put in stew. We'll keep this one from my other example. Okay, and here I can put in my commonly driven destinations. So we'll keep Dollar General. We'll keep these people. These are my cleaning clients, hypothetical cleaning clients. And for marketing, I don't know, I mostly do that from home, so I don't really have any locations for that. And stagehand, I have theater, and that's 11 miles away. And I also often work in theater number 2, that's 14 miles away. Okay. And mileage purposes, travel to client, purchase supplies, mail packages, I'll delete that. Expense categories, let's see, we have supplies, we have software, tools and equipment. That's all the categories, expense categories I can think of for now. So here we are, and we're ready to record some information. So I'm going to come in here and pick cleaning. We're going to do basic clean for our description. Let's see, I worked the 11th of April, and I was paid also on the 11th. This work date category is semi-optional for you. The spreadsheet adds everything up by the date paid. So this column is mandatory. And similarly, the expected pay is kind of optional, but if you choose not to use it, then this information here will be kind of mute. But it's just a way for you to see the difference between what you think you're gonna get and what you actually get, so that can help you later on in your planning, your work planning. So I expected to get 100, and I indeed got 100 for that. And then mileage, I'm gonna go ahead and put record that. Let's see, that was on the 11th, April 11. Categorize it by work category, very important, so that it ends up parsing out correctly on the other pages. And there's my work location. I traveled to Eli, who I already programmed up here. And the purpose, travel to client. And now you can see, whoops, let's delete that. So here the miles are blank. Now when I put in Eli, it's 6. Theater, it's 11. So that changes. And then here I just automatically put in the number of trips to 1. So you can record your round trip mileage, but if you would prefer to record your miles differently, you can change the number of trips here, and that will automatically give you your total mileage here. So that's that. And now we have an expense for this. Right before work, I had to get some cleaning supplies. So I got some cleaning chemicals. Okay. And I went to Dollar General for that. And I paid $11.52. This is going to go under supplies, and I also have an expense on the 13th for a different job category for my marketing business. I had a, let's see, Canva subscription. And that was $100. It's going to go under software. This column here is for if you want to upload a copy of your receipt for your records. It's optional, and I will include a separate instructions for how to do that. And this is optional as well if you want to record your payment method and any notes you want to capture about your expense. So the nice thing about having everything on the same page is that as I'm adding my expenses, if I recall that I actually need another expense category, all I have to do is just go right up here, make sure I open up this panel, go to my expense categories, and I can add it in. So for example, internet, oh, I got that. And that happens on the 15th. And that's for marketing mostly. And so do that, and that's so on, so on. You get the idea. 50, 60, say 65 for my internet connection. Okay, and then as you can see, this column here is color coded based on what your highest expense and lowest expense is. So the white areas are less expensive and the darker areas are more expensive. And the same thing happens here in your income category. If I make this $1,000, the coloring changes because it's relative, but you still get to visually look through the list, and see, color coded what your highest paying incomes are, even all just on the same sheet, not even going to your other dashboards. Okay. Now I want to show you what the other dashboards look like, and I'm going to show you that in the populated spreadsheet. So I'm going to go to the other window, and we're going to go to your yearly dashboard. Okay, so here we are. We're going to look at our different dashboards and see what kind of information they give us. So all of the dashboards, the 4 dashboards that have these padlock signs near them, they update automatically. You don't change anything on these sheets. The only thing that you can do is in your main dashboard here, you can change the perspective on the progress bar in case these bar graphs aren't, in case your information is such that it's hard to visualize the bar graph perspective. So here up top, you've got your overview of all your different income streams summarized or summed up together. Your income, total expenses, and your total profit. And then it gives you a summary of the total mileage driven for the year. And you've got these helpful graphs. And just a tip, when you click on the graph, that is when you get to see these little pop-ups summarizing the information. And so again, this just gives you another way to look at the same information based on what works best for you. So your net profit broken down by job category and your current picture of your total cash flow, your income, and your expenses. So, and then below we have this chart here that automatically parses everything out by your income stream or your job category. And then when we come down below, we have it all listed out in these helpful tables with a little comparison bar that shows you what percentage of your income these different things are. And then it also breaks it up monthly. And again, when you click on the graph or the chart, it tells you these different things. So this is going to be a very helpful table for you when you're doing your taxes, but you can also come into these other panels and get even more information. So here it summarizes what you expect to get paid for these different jobs and what you actually get paid, and then a summary of all the different jobs together. So I can see I probably need to add a couple of more jobs so that I can get back to my expected income. Here you can see your income by category and client. So within your different jobs, you can see who your top clients are that are bringing you the money. And if you click here, it's parsed out for you. And each of these pages, if you scroll all the way to the right, it gives you the same information just summarized in a list format. And there's also your expense detail. So again, it gives you your total expenses for each job category, and then it breaks it down within each job category. So in cleaning, I had this much in books, supplies, commission fee. I don't really have any cleaning books. This is just hypothetical example. And it gives you all of your expense categories, and you can go down the list. So this is very, very helpful if you are needing to put certain incomes on separate Schedule Cs. So this could be very, very helpful for you. And then if you do all of your taxes on the same Schedule C as just one business, then it can also parse it out for you by the expense category. That way it's just easy, go down the list and add these numbers onto your taxes. So that about sums it up. I hope you find it helpful. I found it extremely helpful as well as versatile. And if you have any questions, I'm just a few clicks away.